Hey, good evening everyone, Ankit Shukla here. It's evening time here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna head to bed soon. I gotta get up early for work tomorrow, you know how it is. Working in healthcare, we work nights, weekends, holidays, whenever. But I love it. So, the other thing I love is writing. And in fact, I recently finished my latest book, I Love You Apu, which is actually a rebuttal to the documentary The Problem with Apu by Hari Kondabolu, who actually criticizes Apu as a negative stereotype, even a racist stereotype, and really just has a lot of bad things to say about him, even wants him removed, and really goes after the Simpsons for continuing to portray the stereotype that they do. But I disagreed with Hari. I respected his opinion, and I definitely think everybody should have the right to express their opinion, and everybody should have the right to express a counter argument if they disagree with an opinion, especially if they disagree with an opinion, I should say. We all have the right to speak our minds, and whether people want to listen to us or not is up to them. However, I wanted to write this book because I did not feel there was any narrative out there from Indian Americans who actually were okay with Apu. Like they did not have a problem with him being the stereotype that he was, and actually even felt that he was a positive stereotype. I fall into that camp for sure. So this book, I Love You Apu, defends Apu as a stereotype, and actually defends the Simpsons for keeping him on as long as they have. One thing I want to discuss today is the other stereotypes in The Simpsons, which I write about in my book towards the very end. So I'll kind of go through those one by one and let you guys see where you fall on the whole issue. The first one being Groundskeeper Willie. He is the groundskeeper at Springfield Elementary, where Bart and Lisa go to school. He is portrayed as an angry, loud, and aggressive Scotsman. He is sometimes portrayed as a drunk, has a heavy Scottish accent that is incomprehensible at times, and oh yeah, he often wears a kilt. This is certainly a racial stereotype if I've ever seen one. Police Chief Wiggum. Clancy Wiggum, the police chief of Springfield. A very lovable character, for sure, but also overweight, incompetent, and not very bright. I wonder how police officers feel about this particular portrayal of them. Should they be offended? Using that logic, yeah, absolutely. Luigi, an Italian who owns an Italian restaurant, speaks with a bad Italian accent, and yeah, like I said, owns an Italian restaurant. Newsflash, not all Italians own Italian restaurants. He also has, some connections to another Italian character on the show, mob boss Fat Tony. Hey, look at that, another stereotype. Well, a mob boss, at least that's a cool stereotype, right? Cletus, a slack-jawed redneck with a good-natured personality. I always enjoyed Cletus. There's no doubt that he is portraying a stereotypical, uneducated redneck. It is also implied at times that he is married to his sister, and they have a whole bunch of inbred children together. Carl Carlson. Mainly I mentioned Carl because he is also voiced by Hank Azaria, who also does the voice of Apu, and he is one of Homer Simpson's best friends on the show. He is African American, and while stereotyping of this character is not as overt as it is several others, it still exists. For example, in one episode, it is suggested that Carl is great at basketball simply because he's African American. Cookie Kwan, the Asian character on the show who is most likely of Chinese descent. However, I don't think it's ever specifically mentioned on the show what her exact race is. She works in real estate, is an aggressive go-getter, and speaks in a stereotypical Asian accent. There are many others, the Simpsons stereotype drunks, deadbeat dads, bullies, goof-off kids, religious zealots, evil, rich white men, and so many others. I mean, the show is absolutely full of stereotypes, and I understand, just because they make fun of everybody does not necessarily make it okay, but what I'm trying to say is you can't really just only be upset that they're stereotyping Apu and not be upset with all the other stereotypes. That just makes you seem like a hypocrite. So either you're offended by the whole show in general, or you're not. Period. You can't only become offended when they insult something that relates to you. That's just ridiculous. And I understand, it's better if we fight for our own causes more so that we believe in, because we're the ones that understand our own history, our own past the best, and our own feelings for that matter. I also don't believe that someone who legitimately expresses offense over something should be shunned and dismissed right off the bat. We should listen and hear people out. That's how progress is made, for sure. However, with the case of Apu, I just don't believe he is a racist stereotype, nor a negative stereotype in any way. He's a hardworking businessman. He came here as an immigrant and assimilated into American culture very well. He's a very lovable character, very educated, a great family man, and one of the Simpsons' best friends. Very lovable and stalwart character on The Simpsons. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and definitely check out I Love You, Apu, to get a different viewpoint than the documentary The Problem with Apu puts out there. I hope you guys enjoy it, and whether you do or not, let me know in the comments below. Also, contact me through my website at ankitshukla.org. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Thanks, and have a great evening.